Right, so Ger, we saw there during the week that you were involved with the FAI in their successful Euro 2016 qualifiers campaign. So what exactly were you doing with you guys?
Well, my title is I'm Head Performance Analyst with the senior men's team. So my role there is to analyse opposition fully and take everything into that. So, for example, all their appearances with their country, all the games that they play with the country, team shapes, organisation from set pieces, goals they scored, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities for us, and any kind of key threats that they would have. I would also look at each of the individuals as well, so break them down, what they do with their club, what they do, where they play with their club. So it might be slightly different with the national team, and we had that situation on Tuesday night where we had two players who had never played together before with Bosnia were playing in the same team, so we had to figure that out in terms of who was playing where before the game. Started that role in March this year, just before, 3 weeks before the Poland game. Took over from Brian McCarthy, who was the performance analyst for the last 12-13 years, since the World Cup in 2002. So that's my current role in the FAI.
How did you get into that role as a journalist?
When I started back working with the FAI back in 2002, just before the World Cup in 2002, as a development officer for Laois in Kildare. And at that time I was a goalkeeper coach as well, and really kind of a specialist goalkeeper coach. So I was asked in with the Irish Under-19 women's team by Sue Rowland and Darren Murray to be their goalkeeper coach. At the same time, Brian had just started working with the Irish senior men's team after the World Cup in 2002. Brian McCarthy, who mentioned there. And him and I had a good relationship, so he basically mentored me and asked me would I like to get involved in this. Went to some training days as an analyst, and from there I started working with the Under-19s, doing some video analysis, some very basic stuff, and looking at our own team and what we do, and then it just developed from there. So in 2005 I went in with the senior women's team as analyst and goalkeeper coach. And then in 2010 I went in with I changed it to be an assistant head coach with the senior women's team and analyst as well. So a lot of the stuff would have been self-taught. I would have done a lot of courses over the years with Brian, with the FAI, upscaled on the software. And in the same aspect, I suppose I've been a lecturer in Monte Carlo for the last 4 years in video and performance classes.
That's really good. So could you talk us through the preparation for a game when it comes to analysing it, or maybe looking forward to European Championships 2016? How will you start preparing for that, and when will you start preparing for that?
Well, I'll go back to the Bosnia game, for example. So we would have known, obviously we're in the playoffs as soon as we played, as soon as the games were played against Poland and Germany. So we were hoping obviously to go directly through. So on Sunday night we realised we're not going through. We're going to go into the playoffs. So we know at that stage we're not going to be the best third place team, so we're not going to playoffs. So basically, I started work straight after the game, working with the management. We looked at who were potentially going to be in the playoffs. So what I did was I pulled together a dossier that week and presented it to the manager on Friday. So we played on a Sunday, because all the games were played on Monday and Tuesday night, so we knew who was in the playoffs. So we knew who we were going to be likely to be playing against. So again, by Wednesday morning we knew who were the opposition seeds. So we knew we were bottom seed and they were top seed. So we looked at the 4 teams. So I presented a 25-page dossier on each of the teams, which would have been all their last 4 years of results, their group tables, key players, appearances, caps, any possible suspensions, and then their individual team shapes in each of the games that they've played. I also would have taken all of their games from the previous September, each of the 4 teams. So I'd look at each of the 4 teams, and I would have uploaded those onto a cloud server that we use. Each of the teams, so all their games, so probably 12 to 14 games for each team, would have broken them down into key things, like for example key set pieces, key goals, conceded all for and against. So on Sunday morning when the draw was made, that Sunday, a week after the Poland game, as soon as we knew we had Bosnia, I sent a link then to the management and the coaching staff, and and they would have had all of that information straight away, like in real time. So then it was a case of then breaking down that further. So I would have went to met with the manager 3-4 times before we played Bosnia, met with the management team a couple of times, met the manager I think it was 4 times before Bosnia, so we had fully prepared. And then Sunday of the cup final, FAI Cup final, so the Friday we were playing Bosnia, and Sunday of the cup final we would have chatted and met, and then that evening we would have went through everything again. So all the guys would have full information on everything that Bosnia do. So then we would have presented that information to the players, so the players would have got access to an online website with passwords and full detail in terms of everything that Bosnia do, all their strengths, weaknesses against it. So it's quite a lot of detail that we have to go through in this short space of time. And then during the week then we're prepared, so the coaching sessions are based around our strengths and how we can break down Bosnia, some set plays, and how Bosnia can be strong against us. And also then each evening we would have a team meeting, so we go through the strengths and weaknesses. Then obviously we play Bosnia on the Friday, so that was very interesting, a really unusual one. I'm not sure if you want to go into that or not, but it was a really unusual one in terms of, where we had difficulty getting up to the gantry. There was a crowd area, you couldn't get through the crowd, it was quite difficult. But just in the dressing room before the game, I would present information to players once we know their team. So players might, a specific player, for example, Stephen Ward might want to know a little bit more detail about the winger who's picked, because he may not have been expecting to be playing against him. He'd have that information, but he might want a reminder, and 2 to 3 clips on his strengths. And then obviously set pieces, the guys might know that, they know that who they're going to pick up, they might just want 1 or 2, they might just want 1 or 2 reminders. Half time in the game then, we might show some information depending on the situation. Sometimes we show more than others, it's generally just to the staff. And then post game, then we'll get into real detail as well. So we'll get into a lot of information straight after the game. The Bosnia one was a good one because we didn't have to focus on a team straight away, a second team straight away. So we did a lot of work over the next couple of days. We flew back then on a Saturday. Obviously the fog was horrendous.
Yeah, difficult to say.
We had an unusual situation where the feed we were getting in directly from the camera. We were getting in, it was a little bit darker, so it wasn't what people were seeing on TV, so we could see a little bit more. But it was still difficult. We broke that down, and we had a look at how we could play Bosnia, and I think we got it spot on in terms of playing on the night. We were defensively really well organised, we made a couple of changes. The manager made a couple of changes, and obviously we looked at everything that they could do, and we felt that we could do it. We were very calm going into the second game, and we got through it.
Got a super result out of it, yeah.
Super result, played really well, I thought. Bosnia had a lot of possession on the stats, but the stats say possession. The most important thing is the score. 1-2-0, and a lot of the possession was very neutral, negative sort of possession, where they had in their own half, not really going anywhere, couldn't really break us down, with the exception of a couple of scary moments just at the end, where they were just throwing everything at us. And I think we were quite confident throughout the game.
It shows that doing your homework really does pay off.
Yeah. We do a lot of work, but I mean the amount of work that we do versus what we show the players is the ratio is massive. We do huge amounts of work, and it can only ever show. People can only ever take in certain amounts of information. So it's up to me to get that, sift through that, and work through that detail, and then be able to present it in a manner that the players and everyone can utilise to the best of their ability.
We know you're still playing with Portlaoise here in the NSL. Do you find that doing all this analysis and watching so much football helps your understanding of the game as a player?
Yeah, well, look, obviously I'm a little bit older now, so I played a long time with the club, but I suppose I don't know. Sometimes I'm so worried because I'm a goalkeeper. I'm so worried about things that are happening around me and potential situations. I think it definitely has helped me over the years become probably to understand the game a little bit better. It's not that easy to put into practice as you get older, but I'm definitely a calmer goalkeeper than I would have been when I would have played with the club with the first team here years ago.
I'd say it's a big development from when you started out playing with the club.
Yeah, look, I mean, I played on the teams, I played in the league winning teams in 89, played in 90, we won the league, played in the FAI Cup in 1991, Intermediate Cup semi-finalists in 1991, we were an intermediate side then. like that's a long time ago. There was a lot of rules even in the game different, but yeah, it's big changes. But essentially, you know, you have good players still. Some of the players now that are playing now, I would have played with their dads, which is kind of strange as well. But you know, some of those players were excellent players. Probably didn't have the level of professionalism that's in the game now, but it was the same across the world. I mean, you know, in League of Ireland or in the English League, you hear players talking about now the likes of sports science and the professionalism that is there now in the game. Well, we didn't have it then back then either, but we had a good bunch of players. Seriously good side there. And it was a mature side. This side now is very different. It's a very young team, and that brings its own issues as well, because you know they're learning the game, and we don't have that nucleus of a much older group of players. That team that I played in back in 88, 89, 1991, they were all late, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 of us. They were all late 20s, early 30s, and they would have had that maturity that you need sometimes to go out results. You can see it from our team now, as we're very young, and it is a little different.
Do you find is setting realistic goals a very important thing, which is a younger group of players?
Yeah. Look, we our goal. We set a goal each. We've done this since last season, so we set a goal that we get 10 points from five games. We know that statistically it's 50 points will get us promoted, or we're very close to promotion. So if we get 10 points from 5 games, that gives us 50 points with 1 game to go. So that's what we set. We set that target every week, or every 5 games. We're short at the moment, we're at 16 points after 10 games, so it's been a bit of a disappointing start. But having said that, we can still make that up. So our next 5 games, we'll set that target now of 10 points. If we get there, great. If we get more, which we did last year, a couple of times we got on the run. We set our target last year and we got to 63 points. So 10 points is still a target.
It's really good, and you still have that intermediate cup game coming up soon as well.
Yeah.
How we hope that will go.
Tough game next weekend, yeah. Bad memories from playing Cherry Orchard. We played him here a long time ago, and I'd been out injured for probably six months or so. I had an operation. I came back to play that game. I hadn't played that season, and the goalkeeper at the time was away, and I decided to force it a little bit in the last 5 minutes. So I'm hoping for a little bit better luck this season.
Hopefully a bit better this weekend. Thanks for your time, Ger. Appreciate it.